Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. We are back again with more Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Let's get right into it with Cavalier, the ultimate mountain class and a ton of fun to play. I give this class a C because there's an archetype that is a clear-cut upgrade over the base class. Next up is Beast Tamer. You lose access to heavy armor, which is irrelevant since riding on a pet protects your AC anyway. In exchange, you get access to the full list of animal pets, as opposed to Cavalier, which can only choose the horse. This is a big deal since regardless of your playstyle, horse is not the best option. If you are focused on damage and crowd control, then the wolf, dog, and any pet that has a gore attack are superior since they will automatically trip while attacking, which knocks the enemy prone. If your focus is tanking, then the leopard is pretty much invincible when built properly, and it will do really nice damage as well. I rank this class an S. There are some classes that are great, but take a long time before you really feel the power. Having a pet right at level 1 makes a huge difference in the early levels that are by far the hardest in the game. Being able to choose the specific pet you want takes things to another level. On top of this, you keep all of the Cavalier kit, which takes full advantage of mounted combat. This class gives you great damage, great protection, makes the game significantly easier, and helps just about any team. Next up is Cavalier of the Paw, which is the halfling specific class. You lose the ability to choose a horse pet and instead must pick either a wolf or a dog. This is not an issue since both pets are some of the best options in the game. You also lose the ability to choose your own order and instead are automatically inducted into the Order of the Paw. This causes your challenge ability to add a dodge bonus of up to +6 to your mount's AC, as long as it is threatening the enemy you challenged. Dodge bonuses stack, so this is actually a very nice boon. At level 2, you get Danger Ward, which for 1 minute with a standard action allows allies to re-roll a failed saving throw with a +4 competence bonus. This ability is great because you can turn it on before a tough fight starts, giving your team some extra protection. At level 8, you gain a free bonus mounted combat feat, and you get a +4 bonus to CMB when attempting a bull rush or overrun maneuver. This bonus is fantastic because at level 11, you will automatically attempt a bull rush every time you successfully hit with a charge. A lot of Cavalier's kit revolves around charging, so you should be doing this all the time and triggering that bonus all the time as well. Great stuff. Finally, at level 15, you get Giant Slayer, which lets you add half your class level to damage rolls anytime you are facing a large enemy. By the time you get this, large enemies are popping up left and right, so this damage will be triggered a lot in your playthrough. Overall, I rank this class an A. The kit is absolutely fantastic, and even though your pet options are limited, you still get some really good ones. The problem is that you are forced to use Halfling as a frontline fighter. They come with a -2 penalty to strength, which harms your ability, especially early in the game, to use strength-based weapons. The max initial score you can have for strength as a halfling is 16. The long spear maximizes your mounted damage, and not using it definitely hurts. This class doesn't automatically give you any finesse-related feats, so you will have to manually take them if you go with a dexterity build. Most finesse weapons do not have reach, so you won't be able to jump in the middle of groups and cut down everyone who's nearby. Even if you use a weapon with reach, halflings are so small, their reach is limited, even if you use a spell like Legendary Proportions on them. It's still a powerful kit that you can have a lot of fun with, but there are some real limitations. Next up is Disciple of the Pike. You completely lose access to having a pet, which is obviously a massive loss. Consequently, you also lose access to all of the abilities that assist you with mounted combat. On top of that, you lose your banner and any abilities associated with it. In exchange, you gain Bigger They Are, which provides a bonus to AC depending upon your level and the size of the creature you are facing. Unless you choose a miniature race that is always facing larger creatures, this is a crappy ability and certainly not worth losing a pet. At level 3, you'll gain a +4 bonus on charging attacks when using a spear, and you take no penalty to AC. This is a nice ability both offensively and defensively. At level 4, you get a bonus equal to half your class level on Knowledge Arcana and Lore Nature checks. Starting at level 5, you get a bonus to attack and damage with spears up to +4. At level 11, you can ignore difficult terrain while charging. Finally, at level 20, you do double damage when charging with spears, and if you confirm a critical hit, the enemy is either stunned or if it passes a save, it is staggered. I give this class a C- because it doesn't provide anything that makes up for losing a pet and basically comes off as a fighter with half the feats. There are other martial-based classes that are unable to cast spells and provide a much better kit than this. Next up is Fearsome Leader. You lose access to Tactician and Greater Tactician, which I almost never use, so I don't really see it as a loss. You also lose all 3 bonus teamwork feats, which is definitely a loss and makes this class feat-starved. In exchange, you get Dazzling Display at level 1. The advantage of this is it makes it much easier to get Shattered Defenses later on, which is a huge boon to just about any melee build. Personally, I see this as irrelevant because I prefer to choose Order of the Cockatrice, which automatically provides this feat at level 2 anyway. If you don't prefer that order, then this is definitely useful. At level 1, you also get Fearsome Inspiration, which lets you attempt to dispel all fear effects on allies every time you use Dazzling Display. Starting at level 9, when you use Dazzling Display, it will automatically activate Good Hope for a number of rounds equal to your Charisma modifier. The purpose of Dazzling Display is to unlock more useful feats down the line, not to burn turns using it, so I don't see this as an advantage. Finally, at 3rd level, you get Fearmonger, which provides a steadily increasing bonus to your intimidation checks. I also see this as useless because it's not a large enough boost to seriously consider not taking intimidating prowess, which I see as a requirement for a fear-based build. Overall, again, I give this class a C-, because not only should you not take it, but I think it's a little worse than a standard Cavalier. Of course, I use this class for my Witch King build, but that was for thematic reasons, not mechanical. I'll leave a link for that build in the description below. Next on the list is Gendarme. You lose access to Tactician and Greater Tactician, which again I don't care about. You also lose access to the Teamwork bonus feats and the regular bonus feats, but you get an alternative option. Finally, you lose access to the Capstone ability, but you get an alternative option for that as well. In exchange, you get 8 ranks of bonus feats. Please note these are not bonus combat feats, but instead the full list of all the available feats in the game. That's a pretty big deal and gives you a lot of flexibility in how to set up this character. Your new Capstone ability provides triple damage when hitting with a charge attack, and if you connect with a critical hit, you'll do additional damage equal to the weapon's damage. I rank this class an A+. It sucks you are stuck with the horse, but the additional feats are very impactful, and you keep everything else that's great from the Cavalier kit. Next up is Knight of the Wall. You lose access to Tactician and Greater Tactician, but again, who cares? You also lose access to all the Teamwork bonus feats, which is definitely unfortunate. Finally, you lose access to Demanding Challenge, which was an easy way to give enemies a -2 penalty to AC. Not the biggest loss in the world, but definitely noteworthy. In exchange, you get Shield Focus, which increases your AC bonus with any shield by 1. This is a shield-centric class, so that bonus isn't deeply impactful, but it's nice. At level 4, you can add your shield bonus to your CMD and touch AC. The CMD bonus is irrelevant as enemies rarely target that. The touch AC bonus is definitely a big deal, as rival alchemists and blasters will take full advantage of low touch AC. The issue I have with this is you don't deal with those types of enemies by boosting your touch AC because it's extremely difficult to make up for how low your touch AC is. Instead, you should be using high initiative and crowd control or burst damage to immediately neutralize those foes. So technically this bonus makes you more tanky, but not really. At level 9, you can add your shield bonus to will saving throws. Finally, at level 12, your challenge causes enemies to take a -2 attack penalty when attacking anyone other than you. Personally, I don't see this as relevant, because if an enemy attacks someone you don't want them to, a penalty of 2 is probably not going to stop the reaping. Overall, I rank this class a C-, and I think it's worse than choosing a Cavalier. There are a plethora of ways to make yourself very defensive without taking a shield, and this class doesn't provide enough mechanics to make up for losing 3 teamwork feats and the ability to penalize an enemy's AC. Quick note before we review Standard Bearer. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate you subscribing and hitting the like button. This information tells me which content the channel is enjoying and helps my videos spread to more people. I really appreciate all of the support. The last subclass on this list is Standard Bearer. You lose access to Mighty Charge, which impacts your damage output. You also lose the Capstone ability, but you get an alternative one. In an absolutely massive loss, you do not gain a pet until level 5. Those first 5 levels are some of the most difficult moments in the game, and losing your pet during that time is huge. In exchange, you get your banner at level 1 instead of level 5. That trade-off is absolute pure trash. At level 11, you gain Banner of Solace, which allows you once per day as a full round action to give allies temporary hit points and a morale bonus to damage. Big whoop. The Capstone ability of this class provides a +1 morale bonus to attack rolls, immunity to fear, and a +3 morale bonus to saving throws against mind-affecting effects anytime your banner is visible. So basically a slightly better version of the heroism spell. I rank this class a D. Just an absolutely awful butchering of a Cavalier's fantastic kit. That wraps up my rankings for Cavalier and all of its archetypes. Hope all of you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a like, share this content, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next video. Take care.